heavyweight champion. Michael Griffin was giving him every chance.
We're already prepared for this fight. I kept telling everybody in all the interviews that I'm going to win this fight.
Andy Ruiz has been doubted his entire life. The new wave of insults has just gone mainstream.
Heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua got knocked down by a guy who looks like he hasn't seen the gym in years.
Yes, he did look like Butterbean. I'm just talking about how he looked.
But he looked like Butterbean, damn it. Teddy Athley said it best. He took physical fitness back a century, all right? That's number one.
It was disgusting, led by none other than hot take enthusiast Stephen A. Smith. He called the fight a disgrace and continually body shame Ruiz with the title of Butterbean. He asked Joshua, then the undefeated champ, how in the hell do you let that happen? Even calling Anthony Joshua, who survived onslaught after onslaught from Hall of Famer Vladimir Klitschko, a glass jaw. Ruiz clapped back, I encourage you to do your research before insulting my career. I know boxing isn't your lane, but if you were going to talk about boxing, please study and know what you are saying. Canelo Alvarez called Smith another skeptic who allows himself to be swept away by sheer ignorance and fanaticism without the slightest idea of what the sport of boxing is. Some even memed their excitement. What Stephen A. Smith and many more continually harp on is perception versus reality.
I was 6 years old when I first went into a gym, and my first amateur fight, I was 7 years old. My dad took me to go fight in San Diego. I was this big, heavy kid. Nobody was in my weight at that age, so I had to fight 12-year-old, 13-year-old. When I was 7 years old, and what do you know, I was beating them.
He would say, I've been bullied a few times in school, simply because of who he is. At age 6, Ruiz laced up the gloves when he was barred from trying to play baseball by his dad. His amateur background featured 105 wins and 5 losses. As he stated, Ruiz sparred with older fighters, got beat up and wanted to quit. Andres Sr. encouraged him to stay, telling him you're going to end up beating everyone up. At age 7, Ruiz fought his first amateur bout in San Diego. The athletic director at his hometown high school put it bluntly, and Stephen A. Smith should probably pay attention. A lot of people have been mocking Andy's physique, he said. It doesn't reflect what kind of athlete he is. Ruiz turned pro at 19 years old and racked up win after win after win after win. He only has one loss to his name, Joseph Parker, who went 12 full rounds with Anthony Joshua. Bob Arum would even say, even though he was winning, as in Ruiz, nobody would credit him as being legitimate because he looked like a slob. It was always, yeah, he's a fat slob, but his hands are so fast. But it doesn't matter. Everybody is looking for that chiseled guy, Ruiz said. Just because they have a lot of muscles, they think he's the strongest guy out there, this and that. Lucky for me, the skills pay the bills. What I personally implore for the Stephen A's of the world is this. Profoundly, Smith must get his reps in when he's the face of an entire corporation. Respect to that. The nuances of boxing reflect the minutia of every play on the football field. The backstories carry more weight than your simplistic mind conceives of a man like Andy Ruiz. In the long run, it is not about the Stephen A's of the world. It's the notion of cutting corners. Putting in the work matters. Education matters. Not judging a book by its cover, that matters as well.